Yeah. We at war. We at war with terrorism, racism, and most of all, we at war with God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
Good morning, fellas. That song came to you courtesy of Jesus Walks. We are going to be looking at Jesus Walks today. Then we're going to have a quick look at FC Ladelaide. Let's get straight into it. So, Jesus Walks, obviously managed by Don Revie, the late, the great Don Revie, captained by Nicholas Otamendi. Interesting one. Captain choices do seem to be very odd on Football Manager. Vice captain Fabinho. We look at his team. I mean, actually, there aren't that many better captain's options. Laporte, Pogba, Jorginho, maybe? Don't know. Anyway, let's look straight into the average ratings. Roberto Baggio, despite that famous missed penalty at the start of the season, smashing things with a 7.53. I thought this was an absolute shocking, legendary pick. But he's doing pretty well, doing very nicely. 6 goals, 2 assists in 12 appearances. Can't argue too much with that. Dybala, another very questionable rest of the world pick. But again, doing quite nicely, 7.35. 5 goals, 4 assists. Again, you can't argue too much with that. Aaron Butt himself is a 7.24, so very nice for him. Wonder where he's been playing mostly. I think you can see that. Cleve will probably be able to tell me quicker where you can do this, but this is annoying because I'm not a player comparison. Okay, this is a little bit annoying because normally I can find it straight away, but you can normally see where he's been playing mostly, which I can't seem to do. Maybe you can only do that on when you're actually managing the team as opposed to just looking at the team, so I won't bother with that any longer. I've already wasted enough time on it. But he's playing centre-back and forward. He's played both multiple occasions, scored 4 goals, 3 of those against me. I remember that distinctly. Hector Bellerin, actually we'll ignore that because that's only 2 starts. Fabinho, Otamendi and Jorginho playing well. And then Jordan Pickford actually playing very well for a goalkeeper, 6.97 ratings, very good. In terms of appearances, pretty consistent team by the looks of it. Max Aarons is the main guy starting at right back, or at least starting by the looks of it. I know he's played right midfield a few times for Aaron, but just 6.86, which is decent, but not great. Martinelli and Laporte. Has Laporte been injured? Because that's surprising. He's only started 5 games. Yeah, he had that groin strain for 4 weeks. But in his 6 games so far, 6.87. So again, it's all right, but nothing special. I guess Emerson's probably his biggest weakness here, and Wilfried Zaha. So that left-hand side, possible weakness for Jesus Walks. But the fact Emerson's played all 13, or started all 13 as well, is an interesting one. I don't think he's got any other options as a left back actually. I guess Laporte sometimes can play there. Pogba not doing as well as perhaps he should be for a first round pick, which I think he was. Let's look at goals. We talked about Baggio and Dybala and Butt. Zaha's got a couple and a few assists. And obviously, if we look at the formation, it's a 4-4-2, which probably isn't ideal for this team. I hate to admit that Aaron's right, but he probably is right here. It doesn't need to be a 4-4-2, but obviously the manager, that is one of the times where the manager does have an influence. You can see here preferred formation is 4-4-2, and then second preferred formation is also 4-4-2, which is a little odd. Apart from that, you can't really complain with Don Revie because these stats are insane. And it does have a small influence, but it's not going to be a massive influence. So nothing enough to moan about anyway. But actually, yeah, I think Jesus Walks has been a little bit of a sneaky team. They started badly, and somehow they're up into 4th with 21 points. So little bit of a dark horse going under the radar a little bit. We look at the form, and they did start badly. 1 win from their first 5 and 4 losses, but then since then, unbeaten. I didn't actually know this. This is impressive. Unbeaten in their last 8 with 5 wins. So maybe they aren't going under the radar anymore, or at least from now on, because they could be the form team. They could be the team arguably favourite given Ashtown struggles and Rainbow's just, overachieving. So that'll be one to watch. And I guess that's probably enough to talk about with Aaron because we've already talked for 5 minutes. So, moving on to Ladelaide, Marcelino, the manager, Di Stefano, the captain, and Eric Dyer, the vice captain. In terms of appearances, 5 players have played all 5 games. Allison, Sun, Zinchenko, and Silva. A few with 12. But look at the average ratings. Di Stefano's on 8. That's absolutely insane. I believe that's the highest rating in the league, and it is. With Bernardo Silva actually the 3rd highest. And he's also joint top goal scorer as well. So he really is smashing it for Ladelaide. Thank you very much, Ben Pritchard, for pointing that out to me the day before we did the draft on Zoom when we looked through a few of these profiles. That was great. That was really nice helping. Bernardo Silva, I think was my maybe first pick or second pick. It was a very high pick, and he's repaid the faith. 4 goals, 5 assists, 7.72. Sun's also smashing it as well. And surprisingly, Divock Origi, 7.18. I know it's only 5 starts and 2 subs, but that's really good. Likewise, Eric Dyer. So these two, not regular starters, but when they do start, seem to be performing very, very well, which is good news. Wilkins also playing very well, either right back or forward. I think more often forward, but not entirely sure. Matip playing quite nicely as well, and a few others as well. So that's a good high rating for a goalkeeper for Allison, who's not performing. Wijnaldum 6.82. That's not ideal. That could be better. Likewise, Umtiti. That was a bit of a shocker in terms of rest of the world pick. Panicked a bit. I didn't really think about it too much. And I just needed a centre back, and I probably should have gone somewhere else. But, live and learn, make some mistakes. Zinchenko, again, I probably should have found a left back a bit earlier than that, but 6.75 is not ideal. So maybe defensively is where Ladelaide are going to lack this season. Reece James as well. I had faith in this pick. He's rated, but it's more potential than current ability. And he's being rotated by the looks of it with someone at right back, I guess. Maybe myself. And when he is playing, he's not playing too great. So it definitely looks like if Ladelaide are not going to win the league or not going to challenge, it'll probably be because of that defence as opposed to that forward line, which is pretty frightening. Quick look at the schedule. In fact, quick look at the tactics. 4-4-2, standard 4-4-2. And the schedule, pretty consistent. No sort of, this was a little bit of a bad run. 2 losses and 2 draws in a row. They've bounced back from there, and actually, last 9 games, they've lost just once. So they'll be one of the form teams as well. I guess you should expect that from a team that's sitting 3rd. And they'll be fighting up there, I'm sure, by the end of it. That's pretty much it for today. Final one tomorrow with Rainbow and Ashtown. Have a great day, fellas. I'll see you tomorrow.